Good evening, and thank you for joining us tonight for our Village of Alsip board meeting. Today is October 16th, 2023, and we'll call this meeting order at 7:30 p.m. Can you call the roll, please?
Trustee Dalzell is absent. Trustee Juarez-Mendoza is absent. Trustee McLaughlin? Here. Trustee Murphy? Here. Trustee Navas-Barza? Here. Trustee Peretta?
Here.
Mayor Ryan?
Here.
We have a quorum.
Thank you. Please join us for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, we'll start with our officer report, starting with mine. Before we get to our agenda item, I did get a letter this week from the Morton Arboretum, and I'd like to read this into the record. I'll give a copy to the clerk. Dear Mayor Ryan, I'm writing to express my gratitude to you for sending a letter of support for the Morton Arboretum Chicago Region Tree Incentive. This is a grant proposal to the U.S. Forest Service. It's otherwise known as the Building Urban and Community Forestry Resilience and Capacity in under-resourced communities and neighborhoods across Illinois. With your help and that of other communities, organizations, and elected officials, the Arboretum was awarded $15 million through the Inflation Reduction Act to support disadvantaged communities. This was the largest award in Illinois, the largest award to a public garden in the country, and a historic sum for the Arboretum. In 2024, the Chicago Region of Trees Initiative will award sub-grants exclusively to communities and organizations supporting underserved populations across the state to provide more equitable access to trees and other benefits such as reduced heat and improved air quality. The sub-grants will not have a matching fund requirement, which eliminates a barrier to grant funding for many communities. The Chicago Region Trees Initiative will announce when the grant applications are open later this year. This funding is a step toward improving the lives of people who have not had some advantages as others and will deliver benefits for generations to come. Thank you for your partnership in creating a greener, healthier, and more beautiful world where people and trees thrive together. Sincerely, Jill Koski, President and CEO of the Morton Arboretum. So we thank her for such a nice letter, too. So I'll share that with the clerk. And we'll get to our agenda. Oh, I'm sorry, one more thing here, too. Just so everybody knows, had some information I came across. Most of you might have saw this today through the Illinois Municipal League regarding the legislative agenda for their veto session. The veto session will take place October 24th through the 26th and November 7th through the 9th. Three of the items on the agenda for the veto session will be the electronic publication of notices. What that means is this Senate and House bill would allow municipalities to fulfill any statutory mandated newspaper posting requirement by providing notice on the municipality's website and on a publicly available searchable online database operated independently from the municipalities. In other words, they're trying to make it easier for us to post notices of hearings, etc., as opposed to just using the newspaper all the time then, too, if we have electronic means, which we do. The next was the Open Meetings Act, was the authority to conduct remote meetings. Again, this House bill and Senate bill would permit public officials to conduct remote meeting without the issuance of a gubernatorial or Illinois Department of Public Health disaster declaration. Specifically, this proposal would allow the chief elected or appointed officials of a public body to determine if an in-person meeting would pose a risk to the health or safety of its members of the public or the public body, or that conducting a remote meeting is in the best interest of the public or the public body. There is currently no statewide disaster declaration, So fully remote meetings are no longer allowed at this time. And then last was the the re-amortization of downstate public safety pension funds, another date for downstate public safety pension funds from the end of municipal fiscal year 2040 to municipal fiscal year 2050 or later to provide immediate financial relief to the affected communities. So in other words, just so everybody knows, initially, right now, we're under a mandate to fund our pensions by the year 2040, and they're asking for a 10-year extension on that. And then last was there was an update on the data storage contract for officer worn body camera footage. So the Safety Act requires all law enforcement agencies to employ the use of officer-worn body cameras by January 1st, 2025. Law enforcement agencies must retain unaltered recordings from these cameras for at least a 90-day storage period. The Illinois Municipal League met previously with Representative Dan Dietrich of Buffalo Grove and the Illinois Department of Innovation and Technology officials and members of the governor's legislative affairs staff, where they expressed optimism that a statewide master contract for data storage of officer-worn body camera footage could be prepared and ready for solicitation of vendors by the end of this fiscal year. The purpose of a master contract is to provide an avenue for municipalities to voluntarily store their camera footage and save costs should they choose to participate. On October 13th, the Illinois Municipal League Director, Brad Cole, sent a letter to this organization requesting a progress update and encouraging the department to meet the previously proposed timeline. So, again, instead of the village, in this case, having to assume the responsibility of retaining this footage, this camera footage, for the body cameras, up to 90 days. They're trying to propose something statewide that they could create something like that, so everyone pitches in, and that's where your money goes to support that cloud system at the same time then too. So we'll have to wait and see what happens with that. So first on your agendas this evening was, under my report, was the approval of an ordinance amending Chapter 4, Alcoholic Beverages and Liquor Control, Article 2, Administration and Enforcement, Section 4-41, Happy Hour, Reduced Price Drinks, Meal, Party, and Entertainment Packages of the Municipal Code of the Village of Alsip. Just so everybody knows, we have a lot of students in the audience tonight. Currently, our ordinance dates back to 1994, and we're not allowing so-called happy hour, reduced price drinks and so forth. I have had some interest from some restaurants in town that would like to promote their restaurants with these kind of packages, and there is a 2015 Illinois Liquor Commission changes that are available now. It's called Public Act 99-46 that went into effect on July 15, 2015, that has expanded restrictions to allow that to happen. And I won't go into it, there's a lot here to answer, but I did do so in committee last week, so the board is aware of that. And that's all I had for tonight's report from myself. We'll go to a clerk's report. Clerk Harding.
Thank you, Mayor. I have the approval of the October 2nd, 2023 board meeting minutes, presentation and approval of the October 9th, 2023 committee meeting minutes, presentation and approval of the September 2023 FOIA report, and I received a letter in the mail in regards to the Tootsie Roll Drive, excuse me, that I just wanted to read. This is from Brian Larkin and Bill Donnelly. It says, recently our council conducted our intellectual disabilities drive, more commonly called the Tootsie Roll Drive, with great success. Each year on the third weekend of September, we solicit donations in exchange for Tootsie Roll candy. Countless volunteers make up a combined workforce that consists of members of our council and the 10 local special needs programs we support. These efforts have proven that the community we live in is very generous. Our continued efforts have allowed us to be the leader for this event for the entire state of Illinois for the Knights of Columbus for many years. 90% of donations raised go back to these neighborhood programs, affording these groups to function within the tight confines of their budget. We solicit on street corners in several municipalities as well as several off-street locations for those who like to help but have mobility limitations. Alsip, Illinois has supported us for many years in this endeavor. City Clerk Renee Harding, Erica O'Donnell, and her entire staff each year exhibit a commitment to the community at large that is unparalleled. Their accessibility and promptness have helped us to receive all the necessary permits we are required to have. We also thank your police department and those on patrol who have done a terrific job protecting us. We thank you for your support to the community and to us. Your partnership with us is vital for success we have each year. And that is all I had, Mayor.
Great, thank you. And next, we have the Attorney's Report. We have Mike Cancar with this. Mike?
No report, sir.
Okay. Thank you. Next, we'll go to the Engineer's Report. Jeff Agan. Jeff?
Thank you, Mayor. So the 115th and 118th place water main projects, all that's left on the 118th portion is the last top coat of asphalt on the patches. And then switching over to the 115th place portion, all homes should be connected to the new water main early this week. There will be some shutdowns coming up for the areas just adjacent to the project as the contractor abandons, part of the process of abandoning the old water main. And they are anticipating that once they get everything hooked over and cut and capped, that concrete work will start next week for the restoration in that area. The 2024 MFT resurfacing project, the binder levels course, so there's two courses of the asphalt that's going down. This is the first level, has been placed on all the roadways that are part of the program. Laverne, LaPorte, 117th, west of Cicero have the actual surface course down, so those have both layers of asphalt. We're still doing some cleaning and televising of the storm sewer in the Lombard area. Once they're completed with that, we'll know what areas we need to repair with the storm sewer, make the repairs, and then we'll get the surface course down in the Lombard area. We have a pre-construction meeting scheduled for tomorrow for the village-wide crack sealing program. We'll have a little bit more information about the schedule for that work after that meeting. And then lastly, the DCEO ADA compliance grant for $50,000, that application went in last week, so that'll be for ADA compliance upgrades that will take place in the spring, early summer of next year.
Okay. Typically, Jeff, with the ADA compliance, we're always looking at sidewalks, curbs, to obviously make them curb friendly and stuff. Any other applications that we use that for too?
You can also mainline sidewalk as well. Anywhere where you have a gap or a lip that's more than a quarter inch, you can repair those and replace those also. So I think Mike has some of those areas that he's got targeted for that as well.
Sounds good. I know we've been a lot of times, folks. Well, we do have a machine in Public Works that helps out with trip hazards. Like, so if we have a sidewalk that's just within an inch, we can actually shave that sidewalk a little bit to eliminate the trip hazard and stuff. So, okay. Jeff, real quick, and I appreciate all your help on this. I saw your email today, but I don't know if all the board members saw it. Can you give us a quick overview of what we're doing to help wrap up at Firewater Barbecue and Brew? So 11650 South Pulaski.
Sure. So that plat of re-subdivision was prepared 2021. At the time, the village owned the property out there. The title was to the village, and that plat was prepared, but it had not been recorded at the recorder's office. And so what that plat was going to do was going to basically create one lot out of the multiple lots that are out there. So since that time, there's a new owner of the property. Firewater has the property now, so that plat of subdivision needs to be revised to update the current owner information. And then we're in the process of expediting that, getting that going, and then we'll need to get the signatures from the owner, the lender, IDOT, all the parties involved in that, and we'll get that turned around back to the recorder's office.
So just as a reminder, though, too, it's more than just the recording of who we sold that property to. This is that new restaurant that's going up at 11650 South Pulaski, but that's sitting on 4 pins. 3 were recorded as business district, 1 said residential. So I want to make sure that that's covered in there, too. That's what he told me his bank had an issue with. The bank wants to make sure all the paperwork's perfect, because they're waiting to make his final payout. He's trying to finish the job, and that's slowing them down, in other words. So
Sure.
can you make sure that that part of it's in there, too, just to make sure that that's covered? Okay.
Yes.
Sounds good. Thanks, Jeff. We reached the public forum of our meeting this evening. Did anyone in the public wish to address the board this evening? Nobody? All right, thank you. And we'll go to our standing committee reports. We'll start with Finance and IT. Trustee McLaurin.
Thank you, Mayor. First, I have a request for approval of a list of payroll dated October 6th, 2023, totaling $474,085.89. Next, I have a request for approval of a list of accounts payable dated October 16th of 2023. From the recap, General Fund, $54,650.49. Road and Bridge, $14,134.57. Storm Sewer, $860.33. MFT, $17,401.86.
A motion to approve the Committee of Trustees for replacement for the 2002 Seagrave ladder truck. That committee will consist of myself and Trustee McLaughlin. Next, I have the approval to hire part-time civilian fire inspectors. I have the approval to amend the village ordinance in Chapter 9, Article 4, Section 9 through 61, and add lithium batteries to the language. And finally, I have a presentation and approval of the Fire Prevention Bureau September 2023 monthly activity report. And that's all I have, Mayor.
Thank you. And just as a note on the fire, too, it's my privilege at next meeting, Chief Szynski, to announce, but we're going to go this week. You're going to be inducted in as the president of the Illinois Fire Chiefs Association. Congratulations, Chief. So next, we had the Police and Traffic Safety Committee.
No report this evening, Mayor.
Okay. That's followed by the Public Work and Boat Launch Committee.
No report tonight, Mayor.
All right. Sewer and Water Report, Trustee Navis Farza.
No report, Mayor.
Okay. Thank you. And then we'll go to our Building and Health Report, Trustee Parada.
Thank you, Mayor. I have a request for approval of the Building Department September 2023 monthly activity report. And second, I have a presentation and a request for approval of the Health Department 2023 monthly activity report. In that monthly report, there were 23 complaints, two inspections, and 13 citations, and 0 call-outs. And that's all I have, Mayor.
Okay, thank you. We'll go to Human Resource and Insurance, Trustee Murphy.
Nothing to be voted on tonight, Mayor, but the applications for harassment training went out to all village employees. This is mandatory and needs to be done by year's end. And that's all I have, sir.
Trustee, as a reminder, too, we're going to have, for the village employees and retirees, there is a wellness event here that's going to take place October 24th and 25th.
Good. Thank you.
Okay. Next, the Special Committee Reports, Economic Development, Trustee Navis Barza.
Thank you, Mayor. No report.
Okay. Thank you. Next, Village Properties, Trustee McLaughlin.
No report this evening, Mayor.
Okay. All right, then we'll go to Ordinance and Legislation, Trustee Parada.
Thank you, Mayor. I have a request for approval of an ordinance amending Chapter 6, Buildings and Building Regulations, Article 5, Permit, Inspection, Occupancy, and Engineering Fees, Section 6-91G, Commercial and/or Industrial Building Permit Fees of the Municipal Code of the Village of Alsip. And that's all I have, Mayor.
Okay, thank you. Planning and Zoning and Licenses Committee.
Thank you, Mayor. I have a request for approval of a list of licenses dated September 25th of 2023 through October 9th of 2023. And that's all I have.
All right, thank you. Anyone have any presentations or petitions or communications they wanted to share?
Yeah, I do, Mayor. Last week was Fire Prevention Week, October 8th through the 14th, And even though it was last week, fire prevention is important no matter what week it is. The importance of creating a home fire escape plan and practicing that plan with the entire family is so everyone knows what to do. 3 out of 5 home fire deaths result from fires in properties without working smoke alarms. Also, more than 1/3 of home fire deaths result from fires in which no smoke alarms are present. And also, the risk of dying in a fire is cut in half in homes with working smoke alarms. Furthermore, the state of Illinois law requires that every household to have smoke alarms within 15 feet of every bedroom and at least one on each floor of their home. So it's very important to go and make sure you have smoke alarms. It's important to test them periodically. And I suggest for a few dollars more, get a combination CO, combination fire smoke detector. So, yeah, so I just wanted to bring that up, Mayor.
Chief, didn't we talked, there's new smoke alarms now that are good for 10 years too, right?
Yeah, it's been out for several years. Actually, our village passed the ordinance before the state law actually came out about 2 years beforehand, requiring 10-year smoke detectors in all homes.
So when you replace your smoke detector, it should be a 10-year smoke detector?
Correct.
Thank you. Good to remember. And thank you, Trustee Peretta, for bringing that up. I had a couple other notices, too. Right now, we're looking at the proofs for the fall and winter newsletter that should be hitting the streets soon to businesses and residents. Also, as a reminder, Halloween hours, October 31st, will be from 3 p.m. till 6:30 p.m. on Tuesday, October 31st. I want to congratulate our village clerk, Renee Harding. Renee, great job yesterday. Renee is the president of the Alsip Falcon football and cheerleading program. And I was out there yesterday with Renee and Vice President Jen Cahill. Excuse me. Your organization did a great job. You guys really did a nice job. And a lot of tents out there. And, excuse me. That was a lot of football. You guys, at least we got lucky with some
Yes.
decent weather out there yesterday, too. But they ran from 9 to 5 last night.
Yes.
That's a long day at the
Yeah.
football field and stuff.
At least
yet,
the
too.
sun came out, so
Yeah.
it doesn't rain the whole time.
Exactly. But congratulations to you and the
Thank you
Alsip
for
Falcon
coming, and
program.
thank you for having, the officers come through, too, as well. We appreciate that.
Exactly. No, a good, safe event. And again, everybody had a great attitude. And I like the DJ out there and all that
Yes.
kind of thing.
He
too.
really gets into it.
Exactly. No, that was a good time. Thank you. Great job. Anyway,
Thank you.
congratulations. So, did anyone wish to remove anything from the consent agenda?
I'd like to remove letter I, Mayor.
Okay. Anyone else? No? All right. Then we'll go, can I get a motion then to establish the consent agenda?
So moved.
Second.
All right, roll call number 1 to establish consent agenda. Trustee Dalzell is absent. Trustee Juarez Mendoza is absent. Trustee McLaughlin?
Yes.
Trustee Murphy?
Yes.
Trustee Navas Garza?
Yes.
Trustee Peretta?
Yes.
Motion carries to establish consent agenda.
Thank you. Before we make a motion to approve, Madam Clerk, can you add in there too, letter H is going to be Trustee Murphy and McLaughlin on that committee?
Yes, I added it in my notes
Okay,
already.
fine. Then can I get a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented?
I'll make that motion.
Second.
All right, roll call number 2 to approve consent agenda. Trustee Dalzell is absent. Trustee Juarez Mendoza is absent. Trustee McLaughlin?
Yes.
Trustee Murphy?
Yes.
Trustee Navas Garza?
Yes.
Trustee Peretta?
Yes.
Motion carries to approve consent agenda.
Thank you. We'll go back to the item I that was removed. There was the approval to hire part-time civilian fire inspectors for 2024. Before I ask for any questions, was there a motion and a second to approve this the way it's written?
I'll make the motion.
Okay. Is there a second?
I'll second that.
Okay. Before we take a vote, Trustee McLaughlin, you had pulled it. Did you have a question?
No, Mayor, just a separate vote, please.
Okay.
All right, so roll call number 3 to approve item I, which is the approval to hire part-time civilian fire inspectors for 2024. Trustee Dalzell is absent, trustee Juarez Mendoza is absent, trustee McGlaughlin,
No.
trustee Murphy,
No.
trustee Navas Barza,
Yes.
trustee Peretta,
Yes.
Mayor for alcoholic beverages and liquor control, Article 2, Administration and Enforcement, Section 4-41, happy hour reduced price drinks, meal, party, and entertainment packages of the Municipal Code of the Village of Alsip will now be known as Ordinance 2023-10-2. And item K, approval of an ordinance amending Chapter 6, Buildings and Building Regulations, Article 5, Permit, Inspection, Occupancy, and Engineering Fees, Section 6-91G, Commercial and/or Industrial Building Permit Fees of the Municipal Code of the Village of Alsip will now be known as Ordinance 2023-10-3.
All right, thank you. Did anyone have any unfinished business? Any new business? All right, can I get a motion then to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, we'll adjourn this meeting at 8 p.m. Thank you for joining us tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Enjoy the rest of your night. Thank you.